Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you today. We have the WE 809 Practic. As the name would indicate, this is one of WE's new, more practical knives. See, practical, one syllable away. How clever. But I very much applaud WE for going more in this direction. They're still making the crazy stuff. They're still absolutely into doing that. And they have some amazing new crazy ones that I want to get. But they're also expanding more into this practical EDC market, and I applaud them for it. This is $146, definitely in that kind of upper mid-range EDC knife price range. Mid-range maybe it is to you, depending on your finances. Right in that, PM2, Para 3 kind of range. This is more Para 3 size, kind of halfway in between, really. But, kind of in that sort of price range. And I think that's really what they want to be. They really want to be another Spyderco, another Benchmade, another Kershaw ZT. They don't just want to be that maker of the high-end crazy things that they've been known for the last couple of years. And I applaud them for it, and they're doing a good job with it. They're coming out with some fantastic new knives in this kind of range, like the Rectifier, one of my favorite knives of the year so far, and a lot of people's favorite knife of the year so far. Very, very cool. These are exactly the same price, $146. I will be doing a little, not full-on comparison review, but being that these are the same price and fairly similar in size, the Rectifier is a little smaller, but not by a ton. I am going to do a little, not full-on comparison review, but just talk about which one you want to get, because it's an interesting discussion, because I like how they're doing kind of a choose-your-own-adventure. You can get titanium frame lock S35 VN, or you can get liner lock M390 for the same price. This is a little bigger, it's a little smaller, depends on your legalities and stuff. If you live in a place you can only carry a 3-inch, then obviously you want this, but yeah. Very, very cool that they're doing stuff like this. I very much appreciate them making this effort, because it's definitely in my wheelhouse. These are the kind of knives that I really, really like. Let's get into the stats. On this in particular Practic, you have an overall length of 7.5 inches, blade length of 3.3 inches. You have a blade thickness of 0.13 inches with about 19-20 thousandths behind the edge. Nice thin slicey blade. That's a really hard measurement to get. That's about as close as I could get. It's kind of the average I got going along the whole blade. And you have a handle thickness of 0.52 inches and a weight of, according to my scale, 3.12 ounces, which is just a hair less than they claim, but almost under that 3-ounce weight limit, but not quite. Very, very close. Not bad at all for a 3.3-inch blade, I do have to say. Let's do some size comparisons before we go on. There's going to be a lot of them. I'm just going to warn you, because there are a lot of knives in this kind of EDC sort of category. So we'll start out with two that are really very close in size to it. You have your Kershaw Dividend. This is also the M390 version, but they're all the same size. Almost identical size and overall length and stuff to a Kershaw Dividend. You have your steel wheel Modus. Very similar again in size to the Modus. Another great EDC knife. You have your, let's stick with the steel wheel thing. Steel wheel mini cut jack. It's a little longer than a mini cut jack, but not by a ton. Your Ontario Rat Model 2. The Model 1 is quite a bit bigger than this, but the Model 2 is just a bit smaller. And now we will just put up a couple of our standards here. There's Spyderco Paramilitary 2. It's a bit smaller than a PM2. Usable cutting edge, though. Still a little smaller, but not dramatically so. And you have your Benchmade 940. Benchmade 940, longer but a bit skinnier. All right. Let's talk about the aesthetics of this knife. I think it is it's not a knife design that's going to make you go, wow, but it's for a very good practical EDC knife. It does still have some cool little design touches, I think, that set it off. I love how WE does no billboarding at all. All you've got is these 3 little streaks here that kind of mimic the WE logo on the blade. I love the finish on this with this brushed either way. I think that's really, really cool. You have the, there's an M390 marking somewhere on there. I don't know if you can pick it up. And that's it. And that's the same thing they do with the rectifier. Let me look here and make sure, because one thing I had forgotten about is if this comes, so the rectifier comes in, I thought I was right, just wanted to verify. The rectifier does come with partially coated blades and stuff like that. This does not. But again, no billboarding, and just the tiny little, somewhere on one side here. Yeah, you can't even see it, I don't think, probably on camera. There's a little tiny little microscopic S35 VN mark on there. But yeah, again, this only comes in this satin finish, which is fine with me. I think this satin finish is very, very cool. It does only come with the blue liners and the blue hardware. That's your only choice. I know some of you may be saying, wow, Brian, you actually got a tan one when a black is available. It's available in this tan, black, or OD green. I just decided at the last minute, now what the hell, I'm going to try the tan, because I saw a picture of it from a friend who I got this from. Thank you, LTK. And it looked cool in the pictures. Up close, it looked good. I don't like the way it looks in pictures on like camera, or on Blade HQ and stuff like that. But when I saw an actual real picture of it, I thought, man, that's not bad. I'm going to give that a shot. And I know a guy at I'm sure I could get the black stuff if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm gonna. I really like it. And I even got two at the same time. One went on to a friend. He got a green one, and his green one doesn't look bad. I pulled it out of the box to see, and I thought in pictures, the green with the blue, I thought looked freaking hideous, but in person, it's not bad at all. So yes, of course, I'm me. I do wish that it was available in just silver or black or whatever, where the blue is, but I don't hate it nearly as much as I thought I would. I actually don't mind it at all. This nice, beautiful looking machined pocket clip, which is a pretty rare thing to find on a $146 knife, I do have to say. G10 backspacer, matches the outside, obviously. Very, very, very good looking knife, in my opinion. Again, not mind-blowingly, crazily awesome, but just good looking. Just a nice, good, handsome knife, which is what you want in an EDC that you're going to really do some shit with, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about the quality. It's a WE. Very well done. Blade centering's perfect. Runs on ball bearings as smooth as the day can be. Ceramic detent, ceramic ball bearings. The liners are super flush and really nice feeling. Everything is very chamfered. The jimping's a bit aggressive, but I don't think that's a quality thing. That's on purpose. We'll get to that later. But yeah, the titanium pocket, or the titanium screws they use now are just awesome. No more fucking star screws. I kind of think that's a thing of the past. You only see them on legacy models now. Like all the newer stuff all has all these nice, awesome, best screws in the industry, I think, on WEs. These are a pleasure to take apart. I did take this apart and look at it, but I didn't oil it or anything, because I wanted to review it as it was. And a pleasure to work on, pleasure to take apart. And it comes with a new WE box. They made some changes. How do you think of that? I think it's pretty smart looking. I kind of like it. And your usual WE stuff in here. Again, this is only $146. It's not a horribly expensive knife. WE little pocket thing. They've changed their cloth a little bit, and I think it looks pretty cool. The little "Don't Eat Me" things. Little WE cut knife company. Oh, please read this before opening the knife. Well, I messed that up. Got your little Rolls-Royce floor mat material in there. Very, very nice. Now let's talk about the blade on this thing. Most important part of any knife. Again, Bowler M390. Nice high hollow grind. Pretty thin behind the edge. It's a great working EDC, and I've put this thing through some work in the week or so I've had it. Nice classic drop point shape. Slices through cardboard like a dream. Is really, really good. I did some lawn work and stuff with it. Cut a little bit of carpet with it. It handled everything perfectly fine. I still haven't even touched it up, and it's still, hair popping sharp. Was like that out of the box. Nice even grind. They did a great job with it. Sharpening choil on it is outstanding. Very, very good job with this blade, guys. It's very, very nice. I do like it. And if it's one thing that bothers you, again, if you're talking about the rectifier, it doesn't. The rectifier has a touch of recurve. This has no recurve whatsoever, which I do prefer. Now, let's talk about ergonomics. Very comfortable in the hand. Again, these are large size hands with fairly skinny fingers. Like I wear like a 9.5 ring size. Fits very well in the hand. Very good. No hot spots whatsoever. This clip is very well done in that regard. No hot spots at all. A lot of jimping to hold you in there. The jimping is a bit aggressive. That's one thing I'm going to have to mention. I know it's on purpose. This is meant to be a working knife. You're definitely locked the hell in there, that's for sure. But as you can see, when I squeeze this really hard, the jimping from the flipper tab kind of gets me in there. But it's not uncomfortable, but like you can feel it. But if you have really sensitive hands, you might want to pass on this one or plan on just knocking this down with some sandpaper or something when you get it. It does have a forward choil, sort of. I'm not sure that's what they meant for this to be used as, but my skinny fingers, I can use it as that. I have to be kind of careful, but I can use it as that, so I do really appreciate that. Really great ergonomically. It's really good. Again, the only knock I have is the jimping's a bit aggressive for my taste, but other than that, really, really good. Let's talk about the carry. Slides in and out of the pocket super easy. WE does a great job with these milled clips. It's not too tight, not too loose. This G10 isn't, it's grippy enough, but not crazy grippy, so it slides in and out really well. Not super deep carry, but not bad at all. You're only going to have like that much sticking out, and especially with jeans, this just kind of blends in. The black maybe would even more, or the green, but yeah, you just got to be aware there's going to be some blue sticking out, but other than that, it carries really well. It's very slim in the pocket. They do a great job angling this clip so that flipper tab's pretty much out of the way. It doesn't bang on anything. The only downside I'll have with the carry really is that this, again, the aggressive jimping. Occasionally, it wasn't like ouch, but you could definitely feel that when you're sliding your hand past it. That jimping was definitely noticeable a few times for sure. Action, you just saw it. This is a snappy, snappy, snappy knife for sure. Bangs right out of there, just rockets out. I really like it. It is a pretty aggressive detent. I wouldn't call it hard, but it's definitely on the harder side of great. But for a knife that's designed like this is designed to be a bit more of a heavier use EDC. I think that's awesome. And with that jimping, yeah, you're not going to have a problem getting it out, that's for sure. Grabbing this, there is some jimping here on the liner lock, but it's not bad. That's actually not, that jimping's actually not too bad at all. But just rockets out every time. I really do like the action on it. So, what is my conclusion on this knife? It's excellent. $146, you're getting all the cool WE stuff. M390, really well designed. Just a really good EDC that's good for some kind of hard-ish use. I like that it's kind of, in between the size of a Para 2 and a Para 3. I like, this like Modus size. I need to get an M390 Modus I think that would be a really good comparison test. Maybe I need to finally get off my butt and get an M390 Modus. But just a really cool knife, and I'm very happy that WE's doing it, and I really hope they continue to make more cool stuff like that. I know they're coming out with their own budget line that's going to be even less expensive than this and different steels and stuff, and I applaud them for doing that. It's going to be cool. I would love to see this in like a 3.6 inch, just like a big workhorse Practic. I would love to see that. But until that's out, I love this one too, and I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a knife in this kind of size range, this is an excellent one. They have U.S. Service reps and stuff now. You don't have to worry about sending it back to China. There's not really much downside to buying WE unless you just hate buying stuff from China. And if you do, I'm sorry. It's 2018. That's the way the world functions. So I hope you guys like this as much as I do. I've been Brian. Have a good one.